Alright guys, I have taken the two locomotives shell off so you can see what I have done and the size of the speakers in each of them. I'm going to talk about the speakers later. So let me show you the smaller speaker. So this was, you know what, actually I just took this off. I hadn't taken the shell off, I would say maybe for 4 or 5 years. And I never ran these locomotives on my layout. This is the first time I'm taking them off, and I was surprised that the speakers inside these two locomotives were not a regular 16 by 35 millimeter speakers that these usually fit in the like this Aturn locomotives like this one here. These are the normal size that usually fits in here. That's better. So yeah, this with the enclosure stuff, so it fits perfectly. And also like this is a T2, so you can see it barely fits in there. But the ones that they were in here, and I took off this other, the 163, I installed the larger speaker in there. I noticed that they're bigger. I didn't know. I forgot about it, totally forgot about it. So you can see the difference here. So the smaller speaker is, this one is 16 times 35 millimeter, and this one, the larger, is 16 and a half times 36 millimeter. So that's kind of surprise to me. So these ones that I built for these P42s, they don't fit in this regular Aturn locomotive. So it means either I have to shave with my grinder. This is pretty thick. It's a very thick ABS enclosure. So what I can do, I can sand it down with my belt sounder and make them fit in there, because I don't want to tear it apart and build another box for it. So yeah, it won't fit in my, I can reuse this for my other locomotives. Like this one here, I want to put a Soundtrax in it. This is a blue box, but I bought this at a train show. It was nicely built, so with the fans. So I'm gonna put a Soundtrax decoder in it and keep it for myself. So yeah, this was the 16 and a half times 36 millimeter. This is what it is in here too. So you heard the sounds, and this is where you can see the speaker, how I have mounted it. I like to face them down, and I put them right on top of the axle, so, or the gearbox, so the sound will go through the openings. It sounds better that way. So yeah, I'm gonna take this one off. I'm gonna do it now. This one I used that thick cardboard. Wow, this one is even bigger than this one. Surprise, surprise, I didn't know. Wow, interesting. So this one was in the 163 that I have installed a new speaker. I'll show you that size of speaker in a moment. And this one here, I was surprised it sounded pretty nice. That's why, because this is a bigger speaker. I thought I have this smaller speaker in there. Wow, that's why it sounded pretty nice, because that's a big one. I totally forgot about it. Let me measure it, see how big that one is. Interesting. So this is 20 by 40. Nice. That's why it sounded pretty nice when I was comparing with the 163. So yeah, I'm gonna still take this one out and I'm gonna install this speaker. So you see the difference? It is much better, bigger. So this one is 28.5 times 40. So the length is the same. It's the width, it's 28.5 on this one, and I think it was 20 if I remember right. This was 20, so 8.5 millimeter bigger, wider. That will make a big difference. And you heard the sound. Imagine if this little one was in here, it would have sounded kind of crappy. So let me show you the speaker, this one that I have installed in the 163. So you see, that's a big enclosure. Compare it with this bigger one. See, that's a big enclosure. So I have already glued it down inside the shell. I can't take it out. And I have ported it, facing it down again, so the sound shoots down. That's how it sounds the best. So yeah, this is I think 1 watt 8 ohm. This one I'm not sure. This is probably 1 watt too. So all right. So yeah, since I've done a lot of sound systems in cars and stuff, so I know that enclosure, it's very important for speakers. So I went to school for building sound systems and stuff in Phoenix, Arizona. Those days, Precision Power school, for they were teaching us how to build custom systems and stuff. Then they taught us one thing I've learned: the speaker, the front of the speaker. So you see the sound, the air space between the front and the rear, they have to be separated. If you leave the speaker like this, it's not gonna sound anything. Actually, you will damage the speaker. Actually, this is for cars. They run like few hundred watts. The movement, it will blow the speaker. So when you put it in a box, you kind of put pressure on the cone so it doesn't move as much. This way it doesn't bottom out. So, but the smaller speakers, it won't matter that much because we don't run that much power. But yeah, this one is 8 ohm 1 watt. So yeah, definitely you want to separate the front air from the rear air of the speaker. So if you don't want to build speaker box like this one, you can build a, maybe, let me show you, like you can mount the speaker like that and cover the edges, and so somehow you separate you know, the rear and the front air. Let me show you something. Like on this type of locomotive switchers, because they have such a small room for speakers. I had a Atlas switcher MP15, so this grill here was see-through. It was edged metal, so the sound would go through. So what I did, I installed the speaker inside all the way facing towards outside like that. Okay, then I filled in the surround the speaker with I think I did with glue, soaked in glue, tacky glue, paper towel, you know, the blue paper towel. So I put all around it, so the air, the front air and the rear air gets separated. So you can see here all the way. So you can, it has to be sealed, the front and the rear air. So it sounded really nice, although it didn't sound very loud like with enclosure speaker, but it sounded pretty decent. So this is very again important to separate the front and the rear air. Do whatever you can, you know, sometimes you have different locomotive than this ones, it's tight space. Try to separate the air, it's very important. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna demonstrate for you kind of funny demonstration, so you can see how important it is to separate the air. Okay, hold on. Okay guys, this is my test track. I have a Digitrax sound decoder here, and this is the basic Digitrax sound decoder. So right now I have just a simple speaker hooked up here with no box or anything, and I'm gonna turn it on. And don't laugh at my testing method, it kind of works. So another thing I forgot to mention, porting the speaker box, it makes a big difference. You can experiment with different sizes, depends to the size of the speaker. The bigger the speaker, you want to make the port size a little bit larger. Smaller speaker like this one here, maybe you want to do 1/8. I have even done actual ports, but this one I haven't. I custom built the baffle or the speaker box, I call it. Custom build them for all of them, and this one here I built one with a port. It is pretty loud. Let me turn it on. Okay, right now the sound setting, the master volume is set at 80 and it's already loud. When you port the box, it gets louder, especially on small boxes. So what I'm gonna do right now is set at 80. I'm gonna turn it up all the way. I'm gonna set it to 252, 255. So anyway, yeah, the smaller the speaker, the smaller the port size will be. You can experiment with it, see which one sounds the best. But I'm going to demonstrate for you non-ported and ported. Okay, so don't laugh. Okay, right now, you can barely hear the speaker. I mean, I'm sure the camera picks up more than the ear, but because it's more sensitive, but okay, so here comes the test. So this is non-ported. I'm moving my fingers, opening the airspace behind the speaker. You can hear the difference. So this is, I mean, very simple test. The, you know, speaker box or something, you know, that will sound better. But if you're doing yourself, like I do most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, I custom build all the enclosure for my locomotives, and I usually don't buy already factory built speaker boxes. I kind of like them to experiment with them. So anyway, I hope you like this video, you learned something, and let me know what you think. Yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next video, thanks for watching.